It's great to be back with the Democratic women of Clifton, and this is not my first time being here speaking to you, and I was delighted that we sort of started a wonderful campaign, a successful campaign right here in Clifton for now Senator George Barkley. Congratulations. As it was an appointee of mine, and I was proud to support him both in the primary and in the general election. And it just shows what we can do when we unify and come together in terms of electing good Democrats to public office. I'm running for the United States Congress for several reasons. You know, I love telling this story about one morning at 6:30 on a Sunday morning like today. I got a call from a woman in my district, then Providence District Supervisor. She said, you know, is this Gerry Connolly? I went, yes. And she said, Supervisor Connolly? I went, yes. She said, well, I've got a dead deer on my lawn. What are you going to do about it? And I looked at my watch on the Sunday morning. I said, well, have you thought about calling animal control? And she went, oh, I didn't want to bother them. But I love that story because it's the expectation that at local government you're going to do something about it. We've lost that expectation in our federal government. Look at Katrina. Katrina tells us the federal government is dysfunctional. And how could we be surprised when we appoint a horse breeder to the head of FEMA? And when the worst natural catastrophe ever to hit continental United States hits, how can we be surprised that we were caught short, that the federal government wasn't capable of responding? We'd never tolerate that here in Fairfax County or Northern Virginia, because we actually expect government here to be able to respond. We expect that our tax dollars have a return on them, and you'll do your job. I want to take that same ethos to the federal government. I don't see why we should expect anything less of our federal government. And if you look at the damage done in the Bush years, it's created a dysfunctional federal government across the board. You saw it in the Federal Aviation Administration. You see it in the Federal Drug Administration. I mean, across the board. We have a lot of work to clean up that damage and to insist that the federal government work the way our local government is able to work. The second major thing propelling me to run for this race, as was indicated in the introduction, I spent most of the first 25 years of my career in foreign policy. I worked for the United States Senate. I worked in the Congress for 10 years on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, traveled a lot of places, specialized in the Middle East. And my heart bleeds, and I know yours does too as Democrats, at the damage done by cowboy diplomacy, by the theory of preemptive intervention, by a folly in Iraq that the Bush administration has caused. And the damage to the United States in terms of credibility and reputation is considerable. And we have a lot of work to do in cleaning that up as well. I believe my background in foreign policy, as well as my background in terms of local government, really could make a difference in bringing a fresh approach in a Democratic Congress and with a Democratic White House in trying to undo the damage of these last 8 years. And I think that's critical. Whether it be the environment, whether it be healthcare, whether it be trying to revive this economy, whether it's trying to make sure our students can afford student loans and have access to them, whether it's making sure senior citizens can count on Medicare and Social Security, we have a lot of work to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to move beyond rhetoric. We've got to move beyond the battles of the past and insist on results. I believe my 14 years almost on the Board of Supervisors is all about trying to get results. I'm proud of the fact that I'm the chief local elected official of the government that was chosen as the best managed county in the United States of America, with the lowest crime rate of the 50 largest jurisdictions and with the highest graduation rate of the largest 50 jurisdictions in the United States. That's the philosophy I want to bring to the United States Congress. Thank you for having me here today.